Hey guys, Gillian here with Super You, and today I'm actually coming at you live for Form Friday or Form Focus, but I'm in my kitchen. That's different. So I actually had one of my clients ask me the other day, be like, I still feel like I haven't really got the staples nailed. Like, what do I need to have in my kitchen, in my cupboards, to cook the way you cook? So I'm gonna do a tour of my kitchen because when it's about creating good habits and form in the gym, form in the kitchen. So a little bit of a play on it today. I'll get back to the usual regular scheduling next week. All right, I see that a few people are popping on. So I'm gonna jump through and I'm gonna show you around my kitchen. I'm using the tripod so I have my hands free. So bear with me as I move things around. So first things first, I have a pantry cupboard. And in my pantry, I always keep a stock of beans of different varieties. I have quinoa in here. I have my favorite gluten-free pasta. I'm gluten-free because I just actually found out that I'm celiac, but I've been gluten-free for a long time because I just recognized that wheat didn't work for my body. What I'm really looking for when it comes to pastas and things like that is whole grains. So I want to make sure that I'm having a whole grain pasta. For many, many reasons, which I'm not going to get into today. Then I have my quinoa, which is a staple in my house. I also do buy tuna. I find that is a good staple to have in my house. My husband likes sardines. I do not, but they are actually a really great source of protein. You'll see, so that's kind of like proteins and pastas, that kind of stuff. And then up here you'll see I've got chia seeds. I've got this Kia cereal that I quite like to throw just a tablespoon on top of my yogurt maybe. And then I have dried fruits, figs, raisins, etc. And then in here I have like seeds, like sesame seeds, pumpkin seeds, and that sort of thing. So look at, and then baking stuff is kind of up there, like icing sugar and stuff like that I don't use very often, but I do use it on occasion. And then in my bigger pantry, it's a bit of a mess, but I have my Shakeology and all my boosts and all of my like electrolyte replacers and my pre-workouts and things like that. Then I have this like kind of messy, this is my messy pantry. I didn't clean it up before I opened it up for you guys. So real life people. So then on the second shelf I have a few cereals. We're not really a cereal family, but for people that are cereal people, I like to keep it simple. Again, looking for those whole grains, so things like Cheerios or oats or puffed corn. My kids do like a little bit of granola here and there on their yogurt, so that's there as well. I've got down here these power cakes. These are Costco find, so my kids like these. I can't have them, but they are whole grain and they do have some whey-based protein in them, so I kind of like it. It's like a sneaky way to sneak some protein into them in the morning. And then you can't see it down here, but I'm going to bring you in. Look at that mess of tea. I have a tea problem and I'm totally open about it. I love tea. It's a great way to kind of get in that sweet fix. My favorite right now is, I go through phases, my favorite right now is Bengal spice, which is just a cheap Celestial Seasonings cheap. And that's kind of about it. On the bottom shelf I have some, like, again, baking staples like whole grain flour, gluten-free flour, brown sugar, coconut sugar is another thing that I keep in my cupboard. I like coconut sugar because it does swap out quite nicely for baking, a little bit lower in kind of a little bit less spiky for your blood sugar. That's the technical term. All right, in here, oh my gosh. Again, I didn't clean this up, but you can see like there's a whole bunch of things. My coconut oil, which I lean on quite a bit. I've got a few different mixes here. One from Gluten-Free Bakery that's based in Vancouver that I really like. Happens to be owned by my fabulous cousin. It's called Zena's if you're looking for gluten-free products. She has all these like mixes and stuff like that. I don't use a lot of that kind of stuff. I just tend to eat more whole foods, being gluten-free. You can see like Lair bars and Vega snack bars. I quite like those for that quick, urgent kind of, I need something quick. It's a little bit less processed than a lot of the bars out there. You know, the typical ibuprofen shelf. It happens. And then bars that my kids like, I tend to do things like, I don't like the typical granola bar. I feel like they have way too much refined sugar. I'm not really of the space to be making my own granola bars. Maybe I will someday. I do make muffins for my kids, but I don't mind these Empty box, who does that? Cashy ones, they're not bad, they're at Costco. And also the fig bars, because they have at least the whole grains in them. That's always what I'm looking for, whole grains. Honey, agave. I'm not a big agave fan, but my husband loves it, so I'm more of a honey girl. So that's that cupboard for you. I also have down low, getting a little thing coming up to me. I always have a fruit bowl out. It's looking a little sad because we're actually at the end of our grocery week here at the Gertson house. So I've got all those sad bananas, and I'm going to throw those in the freezer. I've peeled them, I half them, and I throw them in a Ziploc or a container. They go into the freezer for my smoothies, baking, etc. I have a cupboard down here. Also a disaster. I need to clean out my cupboards, but again, real life. Okay, so that's that cupboard. In that cupboard, I have like the vegetables that you shouldn't really be keeping in the fridge, onions, potatoes, that kind of stuff. I also have like, I love me a caper. So I love capers and pickles and things like that. So I'll have that in there. And I also have all my big things of like olive oil, avocado oil. Those are my staple oils. And then I also have apple cider vinegar down there. That should not be kept in the fridge. And what else is down there? Balsamic vinegar, also one of my staple items. What else? What else? A big bag of almonds that I haven't yet transitioned because I haven't opened it yet. When it's open, I put it in the fridge. It keeps it a little bit better. Giant things of Frank's hot red sauce. Because we also go through quite a bit of that here at Shakerton. All right. Oh, I have some sparkly water right there because I'm on a kick. Okay, this is my fridge. Once again, didn't tidy this up for you. This is just my real fridge. So I have in the door things like the standard condiments. Staples in our house are mustard, a Dijon mustard, peanut butter. In an ideal world, I'd be buying the organic stuff, but I do buy the natural peanut butter, so it doesn't have sugar in it. If you're still eating Skippy, try the natural peanut butter. It tastes different, but it's actual peanuts and it's not filled with a bunch of junk, like literally ingredients. Dry roasted Valencia peanuts. If you look at your peanut craft container, bless craft, but there's a ton of ingredients in there that you probably don't want to be eating. For school lunches, wow butter, a little bit more processed, but frankly, who are we kidding? It's easier. Maple syrup is used quite a bit in my household. Got to buy the cheap giant thing at Costco. And olives are a big hit at my house as well. So olives are in the door there. The standards of ketchup. I do buy organic ketchup. I think it tastes better. I don't personally like ketchup, but my kids do on occasion. In the main part of the fridge, what are you going to see here? Let's move you in. What do we got? So we got grape tomatoes. What's in here? I think this is probably shredded cheese. Yeah, that's shredded cheese. And then you've got the big thing of goat feta, some pears because they were on the counter until they're ripe, and then I popped them in the fridge to keep them going. Some dates here. I do like my medjool dates. At the back here you can see one. And so often what we'll do is Mike and I will make big batches of pancakes, and then we will just save the leftovers for a quicker morning. And then I always make a big batch of quinoa, and you'll notice that yes, I do have a measuring cup in there because then I can measure out a healthy portion and it's easier. All right, then I don't get that portion distortion happening. This is actually my lunch for today right here. This is leftovers from last night. So last night I posted my supper, and it's just rice at the bottom. I made jasmine rice because I was in a pinch and it cooks quicker. And then I did some sauteed tofu, and I've got a whole bunch of veggies in there, and I'll throw probably some more veggies in there. And then I've got this dressing. Those are both Oshi Glow's recipes. This is lemon tahini dressing, really tasty. Eggs, we go through quite a few eggs, so I have actually 2 stacks. It's very overdeveloped there. You can't really see that, but that's eggs. And then hummus. What else is there? Lots and lots of veggies. Surprise, surprise, I have lots of veggies in my fridge. Oh, this is a new find at Costco. Give this a try. These aren't staple items, but they like pre-riced my cauliflower. I'm excited to try this. Somebody else in my group got me onto this. So I'm gonna try this before it's best before. I don't typically impulse buy things. I make a list. I know what I'm cooking for the week, and then I only shop off the list. It saves me money, and it also saves things going bad in my fridge. I don't tend to have a lot, like we will go through this before the end of the week when I shop on Monday or Tuesday. So that's kind of it for staples. You'll see down here I have my staples are my almond milk for me. More olives, they're shocking. At the back, I have things like hemp heart, ground flaxseed that I use in baking. Hemp hearts I'll sometimes sprinkle on top of things in a salad or whatever, just to add a little bit more healthy fat and protein. Big old bag of baby carrots, but kind of that's what you see. And then in the freezer, this is very exciting, I know. But I was asked to do this, so here we go. All right, down in the bottom of my freezer, can you see in there? No, not really. What you can see in the bottom of my freezer is really exciting. One side I have big bags of frozen fruit. The other side I have like mostly proteins, like so chicken, fish, etc. And then in the top rack, I have coffee, God bless coffee, and then any baked goods. So anytime I make muffins, I actually put them into the freezer. So then I can just pop them out one at a time. I find they stay longer in my house that way. And also I end up not having them go bad or yucky or just kind of not taste as good. Stay nice and moist. In the top shelf, I also have quite a few different gluten-free options because bless my mama, she bought out the bakery, my cousin's bakery, so that I could have lots of options. So I have quite a few options, and also rice wraps, which I use quite a bit because of being gluten-free. So that's my kitchen. It's not really all that exciting, you guys, but those are my staples. I would say that some of my key staples that I've gone through here is I always have kind of the basics for baking. I always have a few cans of beans in my freezer, in my pantry. I always have some, staple meats. And then in my fridge, it's really like mostly veggies and then condiments. Some of my favorite condiments that you guys see I use a lot is Bragg all-purpose seasoning, which is like a soy sauce type thing, but it has a lot less ingredients, like literally like water and soy, as opposed to all those additives. It's a little bit lower in salt as well. It has some salt in it too, I think sea salt. So that's kind of it. I'm a pretty simple eater. I always tell people you don't have to overcomplicate it. And here's my tip for the day. If you're not the type of person that loves to spend half their day on one of the weekend days prepping and getting ready for the week with their nutrition, you do not have to. I am a prep on the go girl. So when I'm cooking rice, you'll notice, so last night we had rice in our rice bowls, and leftovers. You can't see that, it's very overexposed. On my fridge. So it makes it easier to pull together things in a pinch. So that is my tip of the day, and hopefully this has been helpful and enlightening, or you got a giggle out of watching me meander around my messy cupboards of my kitchen. Have a fantastic day. I hope you are well, and we will talk to you later.